The Simpsons season 34 episode 15 has came out, and this story for The Simpsons, I really like the story for this episode. What it was is like, what if Bart Simpson wasn't a Simpson? Like, what if he wasn't part of the Simpsons family? Now, I really enjoyed this episode. I found it to be a really heartwarming story near the end of it, even though what I just described doesn't seem like a heartwarming story, but near the end of the episode it is like heartwarming, stuff like that. But yeah, I do like the idea of like, what if Bart Simpson wasn't in the family? Like, what if he was not a Simpsons? I really like the idea of that. So, story is really good. Now, for the jokes, I mean, like, yes, I laughed a couple of times. I laughed at, the couple times were like all the jokes in the episode. I don't think there's a whole lot of jokes, but I think it was able to like maintain just the right amount of jokes in this episode. Because this episode doesn't need a lot of jokes, unlike the last episode where it needed a lot of jokes. This episode did not need jokes. So it made the episode really good. That there was not that much jokes, and when there was a joke, it landed. Now, last episode for The Simpsons, I said that I kept checking the time. The pacing was off. That's what I said for last episode. This episode, however, the pacing was perfect. In fact, it felt longer than 20 minutes. This episode went by so fast. This episode is really good. Now, my only complaint about this episode is that I felt like they could have made it into the world where Bart was gone in a more creative way. Like, if you see in the episode, you know how like they get into the world where Bart isn't in it. But I felt like they could have done it in a more creative way. That's my only complaint about this episode. Everything else about this episode is really good, and I would recommend this episode. I do think it is probably in like the top of season 34 of The Simpsons. Out of 10, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. A really good. It's like one of my high rated Simpsons episodes for season 34. The reason why it's not 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 is just, I don't think it was that good. But it is still a good episode. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys all next time. Goodbye.